Have you ever felt like no matter how much you eat, you still want something more? Understanding this is so important because feeling physically full and feeling satisfied are two different things. We eat not just to curb our physical hunger, but also for pleasure. That's why the common advice, eat when you're hungry and stop when you're full, is a we cannot stop eating just because we're feeling physically full. We can only stop eating when we feel satisfied. Hi, I'm Merve. I'm a former lawyer turned dietitian specializing in sport nutrition and eating behaviors. I help active women fuel their bodies with confidence and move with self-compassion. Welcome. We are continuing on this series, the psychological tricks of food industry. In the second video, we are talking about why we often can't stop eating processed foods and why we still feel unsatisfied no matter how much we eat. First, we will look at the fascinating biology in our bodies that regulates satiety. Then I'll explain how food companies bypass this natural system. Finally, I will give you actionable tips to help you take back control. Let's dive right in. How the brain and stomach register food and fullness. We have satiety mechanisms in mouth, stomach, and gut, all working together with brain, nervous system, and hormones. First, in the mouth, as we chew, pressure, temperature, and taste sensors send data to the brain. These signals contribute to sensory-specific satiety. If you watch my previous video, you are familiar with this. Meaning that as we experience a specific taste or texture long enough, the pleasure gradually weakens, nudging us to stop eating. Secondly, when food reaches the stomach, stretch receptors in the stomach wall detect volume and send signals to the brainstem via vagus nerve. These signals integrate with hormones to indicate fullness. Third, in the gut, as nutrients are digested and absorbed, hormones like insulin, GLP-1, and PYY are released. These tell the brain that you're fat, stop eating, and it helps regulate appetite. This satiety pathway is the same one activated by weight loss drugs like Ozempic. In summary, temperature and taste receptors in the mouth, stretch receptors in the stomach, and hormones in the gut all signal the brain to register food intake and trigger satiety. That's why feeling full is not the same thing as feeling satisfied. For example, you can eat a big bowl of lettuce and feel full for a moment, but soon later your hormones in the gut will signal the brain, I am hungry. There is no protein, fat, or energy here. So the question, how do food companies bypass this natural system? Now let's talk about the problem with the processed foods. If you could eat a few of chips and feel satisfied, would those companies sell their products as much as they do now? Probably not. So they have to engineer their products to trick your satiety mechanisms from brain all the way to the hormones so you keep eating. What they should do to achieve this is they should hit the bliss point, the perfect combination of fat, sugar, and salt that gives you burst of pleasure. But they shouldn't keep your taste receptors engaged for so long. They should give you a lot of calories instantly so you can crave more without triggering hormonal signals that tell your brain you're satisfied. If the food melts in your mouth and requires little chewing, your oral satisfaction signals never fully get activated. Bingo! Chips, soda, biscuits, creamy desserts all check these boxes. That's why you can eat a family size of pack and drink liters without feeling satisfied. How to reverse this situation? Okay, after seeing this creepy picture more clearly, you might be expecting me to say something like, cut all the processed foods, never eat them again. But no, I'm not gonna say something like that. My aim with these videos is not fear-mongering. I myself am tired of being treated with fear. That kind of negativity only damages our relationship with food or with ourselves. My goal is to raise awareness and understand the biology and psychology behind our behaviors and use the same psychology tricks to improve our healthy habits. As I've already explained, using the bodily sensations is the key. First and foremost, chewing is the huge part of satisfaction. As we chew, the temperature, texture, and flavor all send signals to the brain that we are eating. That's why eating a piece of fruit is better than drinking juice, and why eating a solid breakfast is more satisfying than grabbing a smoothie. Chewing helps us feel more content and satisfied. Everyone's preferences are different. Some people love crunchy, while the other ones love chewy, soft texture. Pay attention to what actually leaves you satisfied. What are you looking for in a food to feel satisfied? For example, I use my favorite processed foods to learn about my satisfaction factors. I realized I love crunchy texture, so I try to add a little crunch to every meal and snack. Toasting my bread, air frying chickpeas, choosing freeze-dried fruits for snack, I try to mimic the experience that satisfies me. Food companies might design snacks to keep you eating, but you can design your habits to keep you satisfied. Alright, that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope for you things are starting to click. In the previous video, we talked about the bliss point, and today we covered the satisfaction factor. In the next episode, we will talk about how keeping things on an eye level can make a huge difference. Not to miss any episode, subscribe and turn on your notifications. And if you haven't seen the first one yet, you can click here. I hope you give the nourishment you deserve to your mind, body, and soul. See you.